way to become a charitable soul. How do you become a charitable soul? Charitable means punya atma. In Hindi, we say that. So, how do you become a charitable soul? Answer is, in order to become a charitable soul, remember the one Father with love and with an honest heart. You have to remember one Shiv Baba, the one Father, with lot of love in your heart. And your heart should be honest. Whatever things you tell Baba, whatever you do, those matters should be honest. Do not carry out any sinful act with your physical organs. Show everyone the path. Ask your heart, how much charity do I perform? So how much charity means how many good acts, how many good deeds I'm doing on the daily basis. So what kind of good deeds I'm doing, what kind of charity I'm doing. Check that you do not perform any acts for which you would have to experience 100-fold punishment. So if any wrong deed is done, if any wrong thing is done, then definitely, even after becoming a Brahmin, when you become a Brahmin, so definitely there's a lot of punishment. Because when you do, after becoming a Brahmin, if you do a wrong deed, then definitely, because your intellect is now open, you're having a third eye of knowledge, and even after that, your sanskaras are not improved. Things are still the same, you are not changing yourself and still doing wrong things, wrong deeds, then definitely the punishment is going to be 100-fold. So we have to check that we do not perform any wrong act. So by checking yourself in this way, you can become a charitable soul. So this is something we have to check on the daily basis, that what acts I'm doing, what kind of what is my performance on the daily basis? Am I performing wrong deeds or right, on the basis of the Srimad that Baba has given? Om Shanti. The spiritual father sits here and explains to you children. You children know that you are now following Shiv Baba's directions. His directions are the highest of all. Because Shiv Baba is highest of all, he is the highest. So that's why Baba's directions are also highest of all. People of the world do not know how Shiv Baba, the highest of all, gives his children elevated directions to make them elevated. See, the people of the world are such, they are living in ignorance. They don't even know that how God has come on this earth and how he has given us this Srimad. So he's telling us ways how to change ourselves, how we are transforming from simple human beings to elevated deities. We are transforming ourselves. And this is on the basis of God's directions we are doing. And we are going to the Satyug, we are going to the golden age after this. So there's a lot of inheritance that Baba has given to us, but people are not aware of it. So you now have, in this kingdom of Ravan, no human being can give human beings elevated directions. You now have become those who receive God's directions. You children are now receiving God's directions in order to become pure from impure. You now know that you used to be the masters of the world. So this is something that we remember now, that once we were masters of the world and again we are becoming masters of the world. It is such a beautiful process. So this Brahma, who was the master, didn't know this either. Brahma was also not aware of this. So when Shiv Baba came, he gave us this knowledge, this understanding that we were earlier deities on this earth, and now what we have become, and now what we have to do to become the same. The master of the world then becomes completely impure. You have to use your intellect to understand this play very well. So this is some kind of a churning that we have to do every time. So we have to churn this thing and what we are becoming now. The intellect battles in trying to understand what is right and what is wrong. The whole world is wrong. Only the one Father is right. Only He speaks the truth. He's the one who knows what is the truth. He's the one who's we call, he's the Trikaldarshi. He knows what happened in the beginning, then in the middle, and then in the end. So he's the one who knows what is right and what is the truth. So he makes you into the masters of the land of truth. And so you would take his directions. So what directions we are following, what directions we in our life we are implementing, those directions are not of a simple human being. Those directions are those of God. So we are following Shiv Baba's directions, the supreme authority's directions. So by following your own dictates, you will be deceived. So we will be deceived. We will be completely, going aloof if we'll be following our own dictates. So this is something which we have to check within ourselves. So however, he is incognito. However, Baba is incognito. No one knows him. He's he's invisible. We can't see him. We can experience him. And because he is incognito, he is the incorporeal one. Many children make the mistake of thinking that these directions come from Dada. Many of the children think that this Brahma Baba is giving these directions. This is some kind of misunderstanding. This is actually something that we don't have trust in Baba. This is something we are having doubts in ourselves, that this is not Shiv Baba, the God who is giving these directions to us. So these directions are given by Brahma Baba. So these are the mistakes some children make. So Baba says, Maya doesn't allow them to accept elevated directions. So it is like, Maya is locking their intellect. So you should follow Srimad, should you not? Baba, we will definitely accept whatever you tell us. So we should always talk like this with Baba, that we will always accept whatever you tell us. However, some of you don't accept this. You follow God's directions number-wise according to the efforts you make, and the rest follow their own dictates. So even Baba knows that number-wise we are following Baba's directions, and rest of the things we are doing on the way we believe and on the way we think is right or wrong. So it is some of the people, some of the Baba's children are following their own dictates. So Baba says, in following Srimad, we all are number-wise. Baba has come here to give you elevated directions. You repeatedly forget such a father. Maya doesn't allow you to take his directions. Srimad is very easy. No one in the world understands that they are Tamo Pradhan. No one in the world understands this, that we are degraded now. The battery of the soul is depleted. There's no battery in the soul. So we are at present in Kali Yuga, in the Iron Age. So no one in the world understands this. My directions are very famous. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So when we say Gita, it's not just Gita, it is Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Srimad is the highest directions, the elevated directions given by the God, Bhagavad, spoken by God, spoken by Ishwar. So Gita means the directions which are in the form of a song. So it is God's directions given by God himself in the form of a song. So those are God's directions, and it is a very beautiful remembrance. It's a memorial of Shiv Baba, that we are reading Gita from times immemorial. And Gita has been a scripture of Hindu religion. So God now knows, I have come after 5,000 years. I come and give Bharat Srimad and make it into the most elevated land of all. The father cautions you, but some children do not follow Srimad. The father says every day, children, do not forget to follow Srimad. It is not a question of this Brahma. It is not about Brahma at all. Understand what that one is telling you. So it is not about Brahma, it is not him, it is not Brahma who's giving these directions, it is about Shiv Baba. So Shiv Baba is giving us these directions. That one gives directions through this one. So it is that one who explains. He doesn't eat or drink. So that is the reason why we say Baba, Shiv Baba is Abhokta. Abhokta means he is not having anything of this world. He is absolutely beyond this world. So he is not eating anything, he's not drinking anything, he's not having any bhasna, any feeling of the taste even of the food, that what is sweet and what is salt and what is bitter. So he's not having any taste. So it is Brahma who's having the food, it is Brahma who's tasting everything, so he knows what the taste is like. But Baba is beyond all this. So he says, I am beyond experiencing anything. I give you children Shrimad. The foremost Shrimad he gives is remember me. So this is the first Shrimad, the most important Shrimad that we have to remember Baba. Do not perform any sinful act. Ask your heart how much sin you have committed. You know that the urn of sin on everyone is now full. And this is something we are experiencing now, because we are seeing everyone's urn is now bursting and everyone's urn is full of sin. So it is now, the situation is becoming critical day by day. So at present, everyone is on the wrong path. You have now found the right path through the Father. The entire knowledge is now in your intellects. The knowledge that should be in the Gita is in there. That Gita wasn't created by the Father. That too is fixed on the path of devotion. So that Gita, the Gita that we have been remembering on the path of devotion, that is a separate Gita. It doesn't tell about Shiv Baba, because we have put the God's creation's name on it. We have put Shri Krishna's name on it. We have not put the Father's name on it. So that Gita is different. The real birth of Gita happens when Shiv Baba comes on the earth, when he incarnates. So it is said that God will come and give you the fruit of your devotion. It has been explained to you, children, that you receive salvation through knowledge. So we receive salvation. Salvation means mukti. Everyone receives salvation and then everyone becomes degraded. This world is Tamo Pradhan. No one is Sato Pradhan. Having been taken rebirth, you have now reached the end. Death is now over everyone's head. So we are seeing death everywhere, because everyone has become Tamo Pradhan. So the soul has degraded so much. Then Baba says, this applies to Bharat alone. The Gita is the scripture of the deity religion. So what benefit would you receive by going into other religions? Those of other religions study their own Quran or Bible, etc. They know their own religion. It is only the people of Bharat who have gone into other religions. All others are firm in their own religions. So we as Baba's children know that the souls are also, there are divisions, because there are some sectors in Paramdham. So if one soul is of a particular religion, then the soul is going to come and take birth continuously in the same religion. So those souls are firm in their religion. Even if you try to tell them and try to pull them, that is not going to happen. So their drama is fixed. But we souls, the Bharatvasis, Baba is saying, they can get converted into other religions and then they come and realize. So we as Brahmins can take birth in different religions. After when the Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar and Kali Yug, when we go around the cycle, then we may get converted into other religions and then we get the knowledge of Baba and return back. But here those souls whose part is fixed, that they are going to take birth in the particular religion, then it is very difficult for them to turn back, because the religion is firm in their intellects. The features of those of all the different religions are distinct. The Father reminds you, children, that you have forgotten your deity religion. You were the deities of heaven. The Father has told you, people of Bharat, the meaning of Hamso. Hamso Soham. This is what we always say in bhakti, in devotion. Hamso, we are going to be soul, and then we are going to be Paramatma, the supreme soul. Hamso Atma, Hamso Paramatma. So this is something we always, all the sages and the wise men, they used to chant this mantra. Hamso Soham. We are going to be soul, and then we are going to be the supreme soul, the Paramatma. So now we have realized, when Baba told us that what exactly is the meaning of Hamso Soham, that we are going to be deities, then we are going to be Kshatriya, the warriors, and then we are going to be the Vaishyas, and then we are going to be the Shudras, and then we are going to be Brahmins again. So this is a cycle in which we always have to go through this cycle. So what the meaning of Hamso is? So it isn't that souls are the supreme soul. It was the gurus of the path of devotion who created those stories. So these stories are created by the gurus on the path of devotion. There are millions of gurus. A woman is told that her husband is her guru and her God. So a lady is always told in Hinduism that your husband is your Parmeshwar, is your God, is your Guru, Pati Parmeshwar. So this is what a Hindu lady, a woman of a Hindu origin, she always believes that her Pati is her Parmeshwar, her God, and her Guru. But it is not like that, because otherwise the Pati has to give salvation to the lady, but that doesn't happen. So if her husband were her God, why would she call out, "Oh God, oh Rama"? People's intellects have turned completely to stone. This one himself says, I too was like that. This Brahma Baba also says that I also believed in all this. So there is such a vast difference between being the master of Vaikuntha paradise, Sri Krishna, and being called a village urchin. So earlier, this is such a difference. Just imagine the Sri Krishna, who was the prince of the golden age, and then he is being called a village urchin, a gwala, who used to go around the village with lots of cows. So how can a prince go like that in the village and roam around with lots of cows? How? So this is something, you know, a lot of bad things being told about Lord Krishna. So they speak of Shyam and Sundar, but they don't understand the meaning of that. The Father has now explained to you that the one who was number one Sato Pradhan, Sundar, beautiful, then becomes the last, most Tamo Pradhan one, Shyam, ugly. So it is about the soul, the stages of the soul, that soul that becomes Sato Pradhan in Satyug, and then after taking lots of birth, 84 births, that soul has now become Tamo Pradhan. Shyam means ugly. So you understand that you were beautiful and that you have now become ugly. You have been around the cycle of 84 births. The Father now gives you just the one medicine to make you beautiful from ugly. And what is that medicine? What is that medicine? That medicine is, remember me, and your souls will become pure from impure. So this is the medicine that Shiv Baba is giving to us to become beautiful from ugly, to become Sundar from Shyam. So your sins of many births will be absolved. You know that you became sinful souls ever since Ravan came, and that you have continued to fall. So we are falling from since then. So it's not that we were having elevated stage in the mid. No. So since Satyug, till now we were descending, we were continuously degrading. So this is the world of sinful souls. Not a single one is beautiful. No one but the Father can make you beautiful. Only Shiv Baba can make us beautiful. Only the Supreme Father, our Father, can make us beautiful. So you have come here to become beautiful residents of heaven. At present, you are ugly residents of hell. So this is a new thing that Baba is saying. So you are going to become beautiful residents of heaven. And right now we are ugly residents of hell. So you became ugly by sitting on the pyre of lust. So there are two kinds of pyre. One is the pyre of lust and one is the pyre of yoga. So on the pyre of lust, we become tamo pradhan, and in the pyre of yoga, we become pure souls. We become sato pradhan. The Father says, lust is your greatest enemy. Those who conquer it will conquer the world. The number one vice is lust. Only such souls are said to be impure. You wouldn't call those who have anger impure. See, even if you are having anger, then also Baba is saying that those souls who get angry very easily, who actually possess this impurity of being angry, even those souls are not considered as impure. But this vice of lust makes you really impure. So you called out to the Father to come and make you pure from impure. Therefore, the Father has now come and he says, become pure in this last birth. Just as day comes after night and night comes after day, so too the golden age has to come after the confluence age. The cycle has to turn. So it is like the day is going to come again. However, there is no other world in the sky or under the earth. This is the only world. So people are searching for other worlds to exist. Sometimes people say they are parallel universe. They talk about parallel universe. So there's going to be another earth. So they are searching for the parallel earth, or some aliens they are searching, or sometimes they are searching for other planets in the same solar system, that the life may exist on other planets also. But Baba is saying there is no other planet, there is no other universe. So life exists on this earth only. So it is such a beautiful blue pearl that is floating in this universe, and where life exists, all the five elements exist at this place. So there is no other world. The golden, silver, copper, and iron ages exist here. There is also only one tree. There isn't another. So this is the family tree, the genealogical tree, the tree of the souls. So how we take birth and how this tree expands all around the globe. So there is just one tree. It is a lie when people say that there are many worlds. The Father says all of those stories belong to the path of devotion. The Father is now telling you the truth. Look inside yourself and ask, how much do I follow Srimad to become Sato Pradhan? That is to become a charitable soul. Now Baba is taking us back to the words that how much we are checking ourselves to become Sato Pradhan. To become a Punya Atma means a charitable soul. A Sato Pradhan soul is called a charitable soul. And a Tamo Pradhan soul is called a sinful soul. It is a sin to indulge in vice. The Father says, now become pure. Now that you belong to me, follow my directions. Now we belong to Baba. This is such a beautiful thing that we don't belong to anyone in this world. We belong to Baba. And now we are following Baba's Srimad. So if we belong to God, then we definitely have to follow Baba's Srimad. We definitely have to follow what God is telling us to do. And that is the way we will receive renunciation. That is the way we will receive salvation. Then Baba says it is a sin to indulge in vice. The Father says, now become pure. Now that you belong to me, follow my directions. The main thing is not to commit any further sin. The foremost sin is to indulge in vice. Then many other sins are committed. There is a lot of stealing, cheating, etc. So a lot of stealing, a lot of cheating is happening sometimes. The government catches many of them. The Father is now telling each of you children, look inside your heart and ask yourself, am I committing sin? So this is a very subtle checking that we have to do on a daily basis, that if I am committing any sin or not. So you have to check daily. Just because Baba is Jani Jananhar, one who knows the secrets of each one's heart. We always think that Baba is Jani Jananhar, Baba knows everything, Baba knows whatever is happening in the world, so definitely he must be knowing what is happening inside me, what I am doing. So the God is Jani Jananhar, he knows. So even if I steal anything, it doesn't mean that I have to tell every time to Baba that I did that. No, it is like a child. Even if father, even if parents knows that my child has committed something like that, a sin, then it is the child's responsibility to go to the parents and tell that I did this. So this is a process of self-realization, and if we go through self-realization process, then only transformation happens. And just imagine if the child won't come in front of the parents and accepts this thing that I committed a sin, then it is going to become a sanskar. It is going to become so pakka inside you that ultimately it will be your habit every time, and you will continue cheating, you will continue stealing things. So we always, even if we commit any sin, we'll always have to come in front of Baba and tell Baba that we committed something like that. So Baba says, don't think that Baba knows everything anyway. When you steal something or accept a bribe, no, this is not what Jani Jananhar means. Okay, so what if the Father does know about it when you steal? Those who steal will definitely accumulate 100-fold punishment. A lot of punishment will be experienced, and their status will be destroyed. Status in Satyuga, status in the golden age, definitely our status will be destroyed and a punishment is going to be experienced. So this is going to be a very big drawback for us all. The Father says, if you perform such acts, you will have to suffer the consequences. If after becoming a child of God you steal, if one of you steals from the Bhandara, kitchen of Shiv Baba, from whom you receive such a big inheritance, that is a very big sin. So Baba is saying Baba's Bhandara is the biggest Bhandara. It is kind of God's Bhandara. So cheating from God's Bhandara is like, you are committing the biggest sin in the world. So whatever, even if you want to have anything from Baba's Bhandara, then you have to ask for it and then take it. So it's not like that if you are having a lot of access to things, then you are allowed to have anything that you want. No, but we will have to ask, take permission before taking anything. So if you take anything with your own will, it is equivalent to stealing those things. So take things, but before that, take permission of taking things. So some people who have the habit of stealing are called jailbirds. This is God's home. Everything here belongs to God. You come to God's home to receive the inheritance from the Father. Some of you develop that habit, and so you accumulate 100-fold punishment. A lot of punishment will be experienced. Then for birth after birth, for many births, you will be born into a dirty home. So you will experience punishment, and in a return, you will have your status being gone, And then you will be taking births after births in homes which are not, you know, up to the mark. So you'll be taking births in dirty homes. This is what Baba says. Therefore, you would have brought that loss on yourself. There are many like that who don't stay in remembrance at all and who don't listen to anything either. They only have thoughts of stealing in their intellects. So Baba knows of everyone's intellect. So Baba, it doesn't mean that Baba is knowing everything. So I am, I don't have to tell that to Baba. But Baba knows what our stage is. So this is what Baba is, you know, checking. And it is a very beautiful, a very important understanding that Baba is giving to all of us, that don't steal things. Many such people go to religious gatherings, satsangs, and steal the sandals there. So Baba is saying some people are so habitual of stealing that they have to pick something before they leave. So this is something habitual in some people. So even people, when they go and visit satsang, they steal sandals from there. So that is their business. Wherever there is a satsang, they go there and steal sandals. This world is very dirty. This is God's home. The habit of stealing is very bad. It is said someone who steals a straw can also steal hundreds of thousands. Someone who can steal a straw, just imagine what a straw is. And someone who can steal a straw, he can steal hundreds of thousands. Why it is said so? Because it's the stealing is kind of a sanskara which becomes so pakka, so concrete inside the soul if we repeat it continuously. So it is a matter of sanskara which becomes so concrete inside the soul, so pakka inside the soul, so firm inside the soul, which is so difficult to transform later. So it is now only that we have to realize and transform these kind of sanskaras if we possess them. So ask yourself, how charitable have I become? How much do I remember the Father? How much do I spin the discs of self-realization? How long do I spend doing God's service? How many of my sins are being cut away? So these are the things that we have to think. These are the facts, these are the matters of concern. How charitable I have become, how much I remember Baba, how much do I spin this discus of self-realization, how long do I spend doing God's service, how many of my sins are being cut away. So look at your chart every day and ask yourself, how much charity did I perform? How long did I stay in yoga? So we have to see our chart, our Pota mail. Baba says we have to see our chart, check for these things, that how much yoga I performed, how much I remembered Baba, to how many people did I show the path. So we have to show path of this knowledge to everyone. So you may carry on with your business, etc. You are karma yogis. So Baba is not making us leave our businesses. Baba is saying you can carry on with your businesses. You are karma yogis. And you therefore do have to do things. Baba keeps having these badges made. Explain these to important people. The gates to heaven will open through this Mahabharat war. So Baba has made these badges for all of us, and Baba is saying, this is going to be your kind of a pradarshini. This is going to be kind of an exhibition. So when people will see the badge, definitely they'll ask you what this signifies. What is the symbol? Why have you put it? So you can explain people. The gates to heaven will open through this Mahabharat war. So there is a first class explanation at the bottom of the picture of Krishna. So you must have seen the picture of the Krishna, where in one hand the Krishna is holding the whole globe, the Satyuga, on the globe which is having Satyuga, and on his foot, the Krishna is kicking the old world. It is throwing away the old world. The destruction of the old world is happening. So that is the first class explanation, Baba says. However, some children have not yet developed such broad and unlimited intellects. They begin to dance as soon as they receive a little money. When someone has a lot of money, he believes that no one else is as wealthy as he is. When children don't care for the father, they also don't care for the imperishable jewels of knowledge that he gives. So Baba is saying sometimes people, they dance when they receive money in their businesses, when there is some kind of profit. So people dance, yeah, they become so happy. But when we are receiving so many jewels of imperishable jewels of knowledge from Baba, so we should be so happy from inside. We should really dance, dance in happiness that we are receiving so much of wealth from Baba, which is imperishable, which is going to last long forever with us. So Baba says very few children are in such kind of realization, in such kind of, feeling. When Baba tells them to do something, they do something else because they are not concerned. They commit a lot of sin. They do not follow Srimad and then they fall. The father says that too is in the drama. He was not in their fortune. It was not in their fortune. Baba knows everything. Many commit sin. When you have the faith that it is the father, when you have the faith that it is the father who's teaching you, you will have a lot of happiness. You know that you are to become prince and princesses in the future new world. Therefore, there should be so much of happiness. However, some children still continue to wait. So Baba knows stages of all his children. So Baba says there are very few children who are having this kind of realization, this kind of feeling inside them that we are becoming prince and princesses in the future world. But there are many children who are actually not concerned about it, and they continue to wait. Their stage doesn't remain constant. So Baba has explained that rehearsals of destruction will continue to take place. So this is some kind of a rehearsal, or this is a final thing being happening. Baba knows whatever is happening around now in the world. So we are definitely having everything started now. So there will also be calamities, natural calamities are also going to be there. All of that will continue to weaken Bharat. This is the story is revolving around Bharat only. The whole of the story, or the whole 5,000 years, it is revolving around Bharat. So it is about the downfall and the uplift of Bharat being happening. So Baba says all these things are going to weaken Bharat, and then suddenly all Bharat will arise as the superpower, and Bharat will become golden age. The father himself says all of those things have to happen. How else would destruction take place? There will be hailstorms. Then what will happen to the farms and fields, etc.? Hundreds of thousands of people die, but that is not reported. Therefore, the father says that the main thing you must check inside yourself is, how much do I remember the father? Baba says there are a lot of people who are dying. There are a lot of people are going to die. There's going to be a lot of destruction happening. But that is not your concern. Your concern should be, how much do I remember Baba? And we should talk like this to Baba. Baba, you are so sweet. It is the wonder of you. These are your orders. Remember me, and you will never become ill for 21 births. Imagine, this is Baba's guarantee that Baba has given to us. So Baba is guaranteed that we are not going to fall ill for 21 births. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember me, and I guarantee you this. The Father personally tells you, and and you then relate it to others. The Father says, remember me, your Father, and have a lot of love for me. I show you such an easy path to become pure from impure. Some say, I am a very sinful soul. Okay, then don't commit such sins. There are a lot of children who would come to Baba and says, Baba I have committed these sins, so I'm a sinful soul. Then Baba would say, that's okay, fine. Even if you have committed those sins, now you should have the realization, and you should stop doing these sins, committing these sins, and continue to remember me, and your sins of birth after birth will be absolved with this remembrance. The main thing is remembrance. So this is called easy remembrance. Remove the word yoga. Sannyasis have many different types of Hatha yoga. They teach many types of yoga. This Baba had many gurus. This is Brahma Baba had 12 gurus. So Baba used to was so firm in Bhakti Marg, and he's so devoted. And Baba used to have 12 gurus. The unlimited Father says, now renounce all of them. So Baba, when Shiv Baba came, Brahma Baba, immediately he left everything. So immediately he left devotion. So I also have to uplift all of them. No one else has the power to say this. The Father has said, I uplift these sages and holy men too. Therefore, how can they be gurus? The Father tells you the one main thing. Ask your heart, do I commit any sin? Do I cause any sorrow? Do I cause anyone sorrow? So there is no difficulty in this. Baba says this is such an easy task. So it is like on the daily basis you have to check yourself. Did I commit any sin or not? Did I give sorrow to anyone or not? Check inside you. How much sin did I commit during the whole day? For how long did I stay in remembrance? Only by having remembrance will your sins be absolved. You have to make effort. This is very hard work. Only the one Father gives knowledge. Only the Father shows the path to liberation and liberation in life. So one is liberation and liberation in life. So everyone is going to receive liberation at this moment, when everyone is going to go to Param Dham, the supreme abode. But only we children are going to receive liberation and liberation in life. So we are going to go in golden age. Rest of the world is going to stay above in Param Dham. So this is such a beautiful double inheritance we children are going to receive as Shiv Baba's children. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children.
And the spiritual children says namaste to the spiritual father.
So in today's Murli, Baba is focusing more on telling us that we have to follow his Srimad and not to follow our own dictates. So what is the essence of Dharana? First point, have regard for the treasures of the imperishable jewels of knowledge that the Father gives you. We should have a lot of regard for Baba's Murli and what Baba is telling us. These are imperishable jewels. The more we are going to churn them, the more they will become our property. So the more you possess, the more property you will acquire. So this is the time when you can acquire a lot of property from Baba. So do not become careless and carry out any sinful acts. If you have the faith that God is teaching you, you will stay in limitless happiness. Unlimited happiness we'll experience if we'll have this faith that it is God who is being our teacher, who's giving us these directions. Second point is, never think of stealing something from God's home. That habit is very dirty. It is said, one who steals a straw can also steal 100,000. So we should not have this habit of stealing even a single small thing, the smallest thing. So we should not even think of taking even a smallest thing, because ultimately then we This is going to become a sanskara because we will become habitual of taking things. So even a single, the smallest thing like a straw should not be taken, should not be picked. So it is, Baba says, a straw can also steal, someone who steals a straw can also steal 100,000. So ask yourself, how charitable have I become? How much charitable I have become? Now the blessing, today's Baba's Vardhan blessing is, may you be an intense effort maker who has growth
Shabin,
with
we can do the traffic control. Hour is now 7 here. So
okay.
we can do the traffic and then you can.
Okay.
Om Shanti Shanti Om Shanti.
You can open your video, but just mute it.
ज्योति जगा लो, होगा दूर अंधेरा। शिव का कर लो ध्यान, आ रहा पावन पुण्य सवेरा। तुम हो कौन, कहाँ से आए, अपने आप को जानो। राजयोग के द्वारा अपना परम पिता पहचानो। इसी राजपथ पर चलकर तुम पालो अपना बसेरा। तुम हो आत्मा तन से न्यारे, परमात्मा को प्यारे। दिव्य गुणों को धारण करके योगी बनो दुलारे। ज्योति बिंदु ही तोड़ेगा ये माया मोह का घेरा। अंतर मन में ज्योति जगा लो, होगा दूर अंधेरा। ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति।
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So we were reading 8:30. Bhai sir, you will come at 8:30.
You have
8:15. हाँ 8:15 आप आ जाइए. I'll come later. Yeah, so Baba's blessing. May you be an intense effort maker who has growth with discipline in your effort and in service. So the meaning of this Baba's blessing is a Brahmin is someone with a disciplined life. A task is successful when it is done using the right method. So in Hindu religion particular, we see that everything in devotion, when we used to remember a deity, any deity, or even even God Shiva, a proper method is there. We call it a vidhi. So with a right method, a proper vidhi, we used to remember God. And that's how we used to get siddhi. We used to receive a lot of reward in return. So when we follow a right method, then only we are successful in getting something from the God. So now when we are in knowledge, how much we are following the same process. So we have to remember Baba, we have to follow Baba's direction, and that those things also should be done with the right method. A right vidhi should be there. It should not be like, we should not become albela, we should not become careless in following Baba's directions. We should not have alternatives in doing things. We should not think of doing things our own way. There are some processes that we always should do in a proper way. We should remember Baba in a proper way, sit in a proper way. Our life is a disciplined life. So we have to do everything in a disciplined way. Then only we'll receive success in whatever thoughts we have, whatever stage we want to achieve. And the reason why we don't acquire the stage that we want us to have, the reason is that we don't follow the right method. So this is what Baba is saying in this blessing. In any situation, if there isn't any growth in your efforts or in service, then something is definitely lacking in the way you do it. And so check from Amrit Vela until night, where were my thoughts, words, deeds and connections disciplined? So we have to check from Amrit Vela until night. My thoughts, my words, my deeds and my connections, the relationships that I had with the people, with the other Brahmins or the people of the world, were they disciplined or not? So that is, was there any growth? So if there was not, then think what would be the reason for that. So if I had a growth on a daily basis in my connections, in my thoughts, in my words, in my deeds, if there is a growth, then everything is all right. Definitely I'm on a right path and I'm following the right thing and I'm following the right method. But if there is no growth being experienced inside, I don't feel that I'm growing in my spiritual life, then definitely there is something missing, or definitely there is something wrong that I'm doing. The process is not right. So then think what would be the reason for that and find a solution to it. And you will not be disheartened. If your life is disciplined, there will then definitely be growth and you will become an intense effort maker. Then the slogan for today is, to be full of cleanliness and honesty is to have real purity. The meaning of real purity, that you become full with cleanliness and honesty. So cleanliness is not just related to the body, it is also related to the soul. So it is the cleanliness and the purity, the honesty of the soul, and then the cleanliness of the body, and ultimately cleanliness of the world outside, your surroundings. So it reflects the purity, the cleanliness of the soul, it reflects outside. You will keep everything outside you also clean. And if you are honest in your undertakings, if you are honest in your interactions with the people, then it is a symbol of that you are pure soul, you are having pure intellect. So that was today's Murli, today's Baba's Murli. Thanks to all of you. So what are the directions of Didi now?
We like to hear some your journey, some effort, and also your experience.
Okay. So how much time do I have? Till what
We
time
have
I can share?
20 minutes. Yeah.
20 minutes. Okay, that is a plenty of time for me. Um, so presently my age is not that much because Didi is such an experienced soul. She has got a lot of sustenance from the seniors, from our dadis and Baba definitely. I am not that experienced. I'm a spiritual effort maker, but these souls are very intense effort makers and they have achieved that kind of status and that kind of now position in their spiritual life. So these are elevated souls. I'm still in the process, but whatever experience that I have got in my spiritual life, so that is something I just want to share with all of you. I have been in this knowledge from my childhood. This is something I can say because my parents were um, connected with the knowledge. They used to come, my mother used to come in the beginning, and that's how in our home we used to see Baba's photo and everything. And my family is connected with this knowledge because my maternal grandmother, my nani, she used to come and she received sustenance from Brahma Baba, and she used to come here. She was a Bandheli and she was in bondage from the family and she used to come. So from that time my family is associated. Maybe this is a blessing for me. And as a child I used to come to Madhuban with my Didi for education wing programs, and I used to like Madhuban a
From
lot.
where? Which
uh,
city?
from Delhi. I used to come from Delhi. And I used to come with my Didi when I was a child. I used to stay here in my summer holidays. And that time there was no Shanti One. It was just Pandav Bhavan. And used to stay as children. And we used to roam around Pandav Bhavan. It was such a beautiful experience because you could see all the dadis in the chalk, in the corridor there, and dadis were used to give a lot of sustenance. But my intellect was more materialistic at that time, because the knowledge was like, it used to slip away from my mind. It was like I couldn't understand Baba. Because the knowledge was not that subtle at that time. It was not refined at that time. We children was say People used to say that God is supreme power, God is a point of light. And this is something that my mind was not accepting. My mind was not believing that how do you remember a point of light? What is the way of remembering a point of light? And when I used to put these questions in front of others, then there was no answer, that a proper answer that I used to get. So, but I received a lot of sustenance from Dadi. So I enjoyed the atmosphere, the vibrations of all those souls. And I thoroughly enjoyed the company of the Dadis, and we have played around with them. So it was a beautiful experience, and I felt as if this is my family at that time. And I always refused to go back to my home. I used to feel I will remain here for my entire life. But the knowledge, the acceptance of the knowledge, it came at a very later stage. And then when I used to come back and I was studying science, and I believed that there is nothing like God, because as a science student, we were made to believe that whatever we are seeing is the reality. So seeing is believing. That kind of mentality I grew into. And then later, I remember my mother, she was very much desperate. She wanted me to become a Brahma Kumari. And I used to say very arrogantly to her that never in my life I'm going to wear a white sari. Never in my life I'll wear a white sari. And now Baba has given me this color from top to bottom. It is like, I'm submerged in this color, white. So I love this color. This is the most beautiful color in the whole world. Now, when eventually I grew up, I took my education, everything happened, and I was working. I'm a software engineer, and I was working. And then I had a vision of Brahma Baba. Once I was working in my office, I had a vision of Brahma Baba. At that time, I was going through a phase in my life where I was a little depressed. because of the decision that I regarding my life. Naturally, at that there is a time when you have to settle down. So my family was pressurizing me, and I was not deciding. I was completely confused what to do, what not to do, because as a person, I was not having any faith in relationships. So I was keen that I'm not going to marry anyone because I didn't have faith in anyone. So I was firm in my mind that I'm not going to marry in my life. This is for sure. But what I have to do with people, and how, what answer should I give to the people? And my family was concerned. And at that time, my position was also increasing. My responsibilities were also increasing in my job life. And then at that time, I just had the vision of Brahma Baba at that moment. So I remembered, because I had seen Baba's photos, so I completely recognized who that's Brahma Baba. And then Baba was asking me, child, have you received everything what you wanted? Then I was counting what all things are remaining. So I was counting on my fingers. So if there is anything left, I can ask Baba. So then I realized I have got everything, but it is just happiness that is missing inside me. So then Baba said, come back. Then Brahma Baba said, come back. So then I immediately stood up, and I was feeling, where I have to go. Is there any place that I have to go? But that was a little confusing for me. That was not something which was giving me a direction that I have to move and become a sister, or give have the understanding of the knowledge and follow a spiritual path. But later, these things were making me more confusing, and these things were not completely dragging me towards spirituality. But then my mother used to say that if you have something in your heart, then you can speak to God, and God will reply back to you. And I was so arrogant inside, and I told her that if there is anything like God in this world, then he has to come in front of me and prove this thing that he exists. If he will come in front of me and prove that I exist, then only I'm going to believe that God exists. So this was the kind of arrogancy I used to have inside me, that I challenged the supreme power, that he has to come in front of me and prove himself that he exists. So with this kind of arrogancy, I was moving forward. And then one day when my mother said that you, whatever you have in your heart, God listens to it. You just be open about it and tell him honestly what you have. So that one thing touched me, and I felt that yes, maybe this is the time that I can test actually God. Said that if there is a question I can ask, and if I receive an answer in return, a perfect answer for that question, then definitely I can think about it. Yes, it is the answer I was expecting. So I thought I'm going to put the toughest question in the world for the God to answer. The toughest question in the world to God to answer. So I just thought a very absurd question, a question which I was expecting that no answer is going to come. So that question I asked inside me. And one night I did that, and I slept, and the next morning I woke up, and I was having nothing in my mind, and I went to my office and came back. And when I came back, my mother was holding me tight, and she was telling me, just come with me, sit here. I'm going to read Murli to you. So I was like, what is wrong with you? I never listened to Murli, you know that. And I was so angry with her because I was so tired, but she was so reluctant. She was so desperate. No, today you will listen to this Murli. And that Murli didn't belong to that date also. She was having the whole pile of Murli in my home, and she just randomly picked one Murli, and she was just appeared in front of me, and she started reading the Murli. And I was so angry that I'm tired right now, and I'm not in a condition to listen to anything. Please understand, I don't want to listen to this Murli. But she was so desperate. She hold me tight there, and she started reading the Murli. And when she started reading it, it was the question that I asked last night, the absurd question that I put for the God to answer. Some children ask this. So that question is very private. It is related to my life. But Baba, he literally, that question my mother was reading, and then there was an answer. So I received an answer, and there was a question, the same question that I asked, and there was an answer. And in the answer, Baba challenged me. Baba challenged me that now, do you have the power to transform yourself? So you used to say, so this is something, because I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't feel earth, beneath me. It was something supernatural happening with me. I was like, who's answering this? Who is this power? How does my mother know that what question I asked? I was not seeing my mother in front of me. I was seeing that someone else is there who's sitting in front of me, and he's answering my question. So it was like God himself, he incarnated. God himself, he came in front of me. Something that I, wish that God has to come in front of me and tell and prove that I exist. So this is what I experienced. And that was the time when Baba challenged me in return and asked me that, now can you transform yourself? So this experience, it was a turning point for me, and it brought a lot of change inside me. And that was the time when I started believing, in the supreme power. And I started thinking how mediocre, how small my intellect was, that what power I was challenging, and how much Baba is so much, kind-hearted. Baba is so down to earth, that Baba actually tries to prove himself to people like me who are so mediocre in intellects, that he exists. So we as children, and I'm so fortunate that Baba did that, and now Baba has made me surrender. Baba is making me do lot of things, lot of service, and Baba is making my fortune. So I am such a fortunate soul. I can't believe that in such a short period, in such a short time, Baba is making me do so many things. And it is like we feel Baba every time, whatever we do. In Madhuban, there has been lot of services happening. We see Baba doing so many things. It is Baba is moving this person, Baba is moving this person. So we all are Baba's instruments, and Baba is using us. Everywhere we see Baba moving things. Everywhere right now in this critical situation also, the whole world is in such a critical situation, but we see Baba's children everywhere in the world. Wherever Baba's children are, they all are safe. It is like Baba is with them. So Baba is keeping them safe. So we all are one big family, connected with Baba and receiving so much of Baba's power. And Baba is making the new world. And this is how we all are actually giving power to all the rest of the souls in the world. And it is such a great service happening. So we all are moving towards Satyug. It is such a matter of happiness. It is such a matter of fortune. We together all are moving towards Satyug, towards golden age. So we will be having lot of happiness in golden age. So even if the world is in crisis, but this still, we children are not in any kind of crisis. We children are in such a beautiful condition. We children are receiving even much more sustenance, much more blessings from Baba, because now we are serving even more, because the service is going to increase a lot after this. And this is, we are seeing this in just 1.5 months. We are seeing a lot of progress, because now the souls are in anxiety. Lot of souls are having fear. What is going to happen next? So we are receiving a lot of calls from those people who used to hear, who used to listen to our classes, who used to meet us, and we used to tell them that these things are going to happen. And now we are receiving calls from them that, Didi, aap aisa bolte the, Didi, you used to say this, and we didn't believe you, and now what we should do. So they are asking that what we should do now. So it is the time of service. So this is the time Baba is telling us, Baba is saying us, now give directions to everyone. So this is the time, this is such a beautiful time, this is such an important time. So we should not waste it, not even a single moment we should waste of this time. We should utilize this time completely because we won't get this time again. So this is time of our own Purusharath. Make yourself strong and give power to the whole world. That's how you accumulate lot of blessing. Accumulate, the more you accumulate, this is the time of accumulation. So accumulate lot of blessings, accumulate lot of people, give Baba's directions to everyone, give Baba's knowledge, introduce everyone to God. You are going to introduce now, because people are now open with their intellects to accept what God is. People are actually searching for God. When I last came to America, I just felt that here there is no faith in people. People have lost faith in America, because I was told that there are a lot of churches which are put on sale. You know, the churches are empty because don't people have forgotten God there. They don't want to go to church. They forget how to remember God. They don't know. They are not introduced to God. But now, because the situation is so critical, especially America has become the epicenter. So now people have actually started realizing the importance of God. And now if you are going to tell them that what connection you have with your Father, the Father is giving so much to us, then definitely they will listen. So it is the time to serve everyone. It is the time when we can actually do a lot of service and earn a lot of blessings. So that's how we are engaged in a lot of activities in Madhuban. Everyone is fine here. We have seen so many things in this 1.5 month. I don't know what is going to happen next, but everything which is going to be the best thing in the world. जो हो रहा है सब अच्छा है, सब अच्छा 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 और अच्छा होने वाला.
That's so nice. You know, Baba is making all of us in such a beautiful, safe place.
Yeah.
That's why he constant saying faith in yourself, faith in Baba, faith in drama, and faith in family. You know, so this is a very beautiful experience you share. And now what we can do, we can offer the book, and everybody also like kept book in front of them also, because this is a beautiful, like the new method happened last almost 1.5 months, that everyone's home is now their center.
Yeah,
and so they also prepared the very special book, and so all they will keep in front of them, and so up to 2 songs we can play, so everybody can sit in a very standstill way, that you are also, the sister will also like take us through her vibrations to subtle region, and we all can offer Baba's book in subtle region. Okay, and then you have after the sister, you have a beautiful another surprise today. And I don't want to say anything, but let's see what Baba is giving you, beautiful visions. And just keep connected with Baba and take drishti from sister also. And let's see. Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Everyone keep their video on, please, and take drishti from Sister Shivani. Shivika Ben.
जा बाबा के अंतर द्वार, उड़ जा प्यारे वतन में, नीले अंबर के उस पार। पंछी रे पंचेंद्रिय का छोड़ दे बंधन, तन मन से तू हो जा समर्पण। पंचेंद्रिय का छोड़ दे बंधन, तन मन से तू हो जा समर्पण। दिव्य ज्योतिर्मय देह धारण कर, बाबा के पास जा होके मगन। प्रेम की डोर में मोती पिरो के, प्रेम की डोर में मोती पिरो के, कर ले सच्चा श्रृंगार। उड़ जा प्यारे वतन में, नीले अंबर के उस पार, नीले अंबर के उस पार। पंछी रे बन के फरिश्ता बाबा से मिलना, देना संदेश हमारा। बन के फरिश्ता बाबा से मिलना, देना संदेश हमारा। याद प्यार हम सबका देना, लावतन का नजारा। सच्ची लगन से बन जा बाबा के, सच्ची लगन से बन जा बाबा के। तू गले को हार, उड़ जा प्यारे वतन में, नीले अंबर के उस पार। हो नीले अंबर के उस पार। पंछी रे पिता हो, तुम ही हो जग के तारनहार। ओ बाबा तुम मात पिता हो, तुम ही हो जग के तारनहार। दुख हरता तुम सुख करता हो, गुणों के भंडार। हम सब बच्चे महिमा अपरंपार। उड़ जा प्यारे वतन में, नीले अंबर के उस पार, नीले अंबर के उस पार। पंछी रे उड़ जा प्यारे वतन में, नीले अंबर के उस पार, नीले अंबर के उस पार। हो नीले अंबर के उस पार, नीले अंबर के। बाबा तुम कितने अच्छे हो, बाबा तुम कितने प्यारे हो। सच कहते हैं हम एक तुम ही अपनी आँखियों के तारे हो। बाबा तुम कितने अच्छे हो, बाबा तुम कितने प्यारे हो। सच कहते हैं हम एक तुम ही अपनी आँखियों के तारे हो। बाबा तुम कितने अच्छे हो। दिल तक पे हमें बिठाया है, मस्तक मणि बनाया है। गुण ज्ञान खजाने दे करके हमें सबसे धनी बनाया है। रत्नों की थालियां भर भर के आंचल भर दिए हमारे हो। बाबा तुम कितने अच्छे हो। ख्यालों में ना ख्वाबों में था, यूं हमको मिल जाओगे। तुम बन के हजारों याद हमारे मन में यूं मुस्काओगे। महफिल ये मयसर दिन होंगे, हर खुशियाँ हम पर वारे हो। बाबा तुम कितने अच्छे हो। हसरत यही है हर दिल में, बाबा प्यार तुम्हारा भर जाए। संग के रंग में रंग के तेरे, हंसते गाते हम घर जाए। योगी पावन जीवन देकर नवयुग के दिए नजारे एक तुम ही अपनी अखियों के तारे हो। बाबा तुम कितने अच्छे हो, बाबा तुम कितने प्यारे हो। सच कहते